Hey everybody, my name is Juliana Theine. I am a life coach, and if you're interested in working with me, you can check out my Instagram page at Juliana_Theine and message me there. And this is Mystical.
Hey, it's Mystical. You can reach me at MysticalBeing19XX on Instagram, as well as Mystical Magic on Facebook. And I myself am a shadow worker, so I help people process traumas and as well as activate and help guide people through their ascensions as well as their awakenings. So thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that.
Amazing. I am so excited for this video. We are going to be talking about the North Node, the true North Node moving into Taurus and the South Node moving into Scorpio. Super pumped about this crazy energy. I don't know that everyone's going to be super pumped about it. I'm certain a lot of people are not going to be super pumped about it.
Yeah.
But I am. I'm excited because, my fire energy is like, reveal all the stuff. Show me everything. Anyway, so, Misty, I think you did some channeling. Did you, Mystical?
Yes, you're fine. Yeah. Okay. So I did do some channeling. And so I can't decide which one to start with first. I think that honestly, my Scorpio self is saying, let's start with I'm going to start with the South Node because I feel like a lot of people are going to be having this experience when it comes to the shift. All right. So I feel like that what Spirit's really guiding me to convey to the collective is that this energy is here to show you the unique gifts that you have hidden inside of yourself. So I've got some couple of things wrote down here. Let me just look over them really quick. So what we need to really be focusing on is like what we excel at, like where are our talents and what we enjoy doing, and really creating from that base to help the entire world thrive, which is interesting because like that is a mission. It for me, it ties it back to the Taurus node, the polarity to each other, you know what I'm saying? And the mission, the goal, the end result is for the creator of the earth, if that makes sense. So you know what I'm saying?
Right. So collectively, like this is a collective level, right? Like, so in society, we're going to see what?
In society, we're going to see a lot of people being forced to look at their shadow. I mean, Scorpio is all about, the mystery. What are we not showing ourselves? And so when we're ignoring those parts of ourselves, we're limiting our capabilities of being connected to our purpose. Does that resonate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And so really it says, this is what I wrote down. It says, if you have connected with purpose, or if you have not connected with purpose, your purpose, look at your quirks and what they are telling you. Look at the plus side of your oddities. So like, you know what I'm saying? The things that you find weird about yourself may be where your talent is hidden, where your gift is, where the true self is hidden, lies within that oddity. Okay. And things you consider shortcomings may just be qualities that are enabling your gifts. You know what I'm saying? And then now is the time to follow the whispers. That was one that they really wanted me to like express, was now is the time to follow the whispers, and then do not fear the unknown, which I just absolutely freaking love that, because Scorpio is about the depths. It's about the darkness. So, you know, not fearing what we don't know, because in that place is where the magic grows. You know what I mean? So, oh, I like that little ooh. Okay, sorry. I'm like totally just, you know, I told you that I channeled, and like I was really excited about doing this specific part of what we were doing today. So yeah, I'm sorry. Would you like to speak, Juliana?
I absolutely love your vibe right now. Like, that's amazing. Yeah, I was also doing some channel work with many people call them spirit guides, but I have an entire council. Like,
Yep.
There's like 20 of them, and I'm a little envious of whoever is getting the whispers, because my team screams at me and hits me over the head with stuff. I'm like, I don't know if that's just me and my stubbornness, but I don't get quiet whispers. I get like, if I'm out, like, did y'all see that video with that woman like doing the newscast, and there's like a blizzard or a hurricane or something, and she gets hit in the face with a stop sign? That's my guy. I get hit in the face with a stop sign. What are these whispers you talk about?
Me too. No, and you know, I tell people all the time, my guys, like I don't just have one guy, I have multiple guys, and they are all very sassy, you know, sarcastic, very fiery, very, you know, so yeah, I do bring out a lot of different energies, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
great.
like what I was channeling, I was doing some channeling and getting some messages from my council. It was talking about less of a collective energy, but more of like an individual energy, where our first eclipse is going to be in April, so it'll be in the Taurus energy, which is associated with the Empress of the tarot deck. So that's like abundance and moving into something that feels uncomfortable, but is actually going to be your new comfort spot. So your South Node would be where you're feeling like that's your comfort zone. Like that's where you fall back into, is because it's the place that you know, it's, you know, it's like that known place. And the Scorpio South Node is going to be more about hanging on to things that are decaying, that no longer serve you, and it's actually harming you to stay in that comfort zone. So moving into a new type of abundant, thriving, living, things that make you feel joy and give you that prana life force, right? That you're moving into finding the new comfort zone, and it's going to be a little terrifying as emergency vehicles just go by my place. Like there's an ambulance coming right to my house. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, that has to be some sort of a sign, right? So
it's the life force. It was the life force.
The life force. I feel like it has to do with like you need to actually get into that scary place of moving into that new comfort zone before the ambulance comes to collect your dead body. Okay, well you're not gonna die, but
no. But metaphorically, like. I mean, it really is a death of things that are no longer serving you, letting go, because that's really transformation in Scorpio energy. You know what I'm saying? And it's very
the life out of you.
Because listen, so I didn't even read my North Node, but ironically, my North Node is literally labeled life force energy.
Right.
I
Right. And
didn't
you're
mean to
like the
interrupt
things that
you.
you're comfortable. That's fine. I mean, this is how we interrupt each other all the time. I don't know.
We do. This is how we
People are
talk in
just-
real life.
People are just gonna have to deal. If you don't like it, don't watch us. Like
Yeah,
this,
that's
you
very
want
true.
entertainment.
We welcome you if you can keep it, if you can keep it real, we can keep it real. So
Yeah.
so I love that. I apologize for interrupting you. You were really on the flow there, and I needed to stop and acknowledge the ambulance, first of all, being the life force, you know what I'm saying? And being that essence of joy and upliftment. That's really what the Taurus North Node is going to be about, like building that really good foundation for self. And also, I wanted to point out that, like, Scorpio energy, yes, is going to be, it's not necessarily the collective message more so than it is about the individual message, but it is a need for the collective to do that as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So when we're doing it for ourselves, we're creating that energy for others to be able to get into that same vibration. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Okay, so my team just showed, so a while ago, just to sort of give you like a little bit of a backstory about this before I get into it, I tapped into ant energies, and I wanted to know, when I tapped into them, my question to them was, like, do you just serve others? Is that what ant energy is about? And no. Ant energy is like, they get enough food to maintain themselves, but then they also collect extra so that it will help others as well. So they fill their own stuff first, right? So this ant energy is, I feel like, the same, this is why they're telling me, it's the same as this North Node shift, right? We need to get into our own abundance and birth our own things, and it will inspire everyone around us who witnesses it to do the same for them. And I think in one of our last readings, we were talking about filling our own cup and allowing it to overflow and only giving away the overflow. So we need to get selfish about
The energy,
full of self.
Full of self. Yes, definitely.
Right.
Yes.
We need to get into that, making sure that we have our own face mask on first before we help others, right? So we need to be able to, this is the message that I've been getting, is getting into our own abundance, what that looks like, whether it's money, whether it's, tangible things, whether it's feeling good, just being healthy at any size. I don't know why they told me that, but I think somebody needed to hear that.
I literally have health and healing both wrote down in North Node from what I was channeling. You know what I'm saying? So life energy force is optimal for health and healing, seeking joy and upliftment in everything. Increase awareness of what you're eating, where you're spending your time, and be aware of how those things come to be in your world. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Working with the ground, make your life a place of Eden. You will shine with vitality, is literally that was like the messages that I was getting. Which I just find that so very interesting that we're both getting that,
yeah, it's definitely Taurus energy, right? Like the Taurian energy, the Empress energy is about abundance. It's about beauty. It's not just Earth energy, but it's about things that bring you comfort, things that bring you joy, things that bring you beauty, that make you feel beautiful, that make your surroundings, your energy beautiful and shine, right? This is about getting into figuring out what makes you shine in your north node, heading toward the north node, and then releasing everything that's holding you back.
Yeah.
Right? Like this Scorpio energy is going to bring up all the rocks that are attached to the little butterfly, preventing the butterfly from flying away.
Yeah.
Right? And being its full authentic self. So I think it's going to be, the next 18 months is going to be pretty difficult for a lot of people, because the rock holding them down is what they know.
Well, and that goes back to not fearing the unknown. When we can let go of the things that like are holding us back and venture into the unknown, we can discover more things than we knew before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually gonna pull an affirmation card for it. Oh, gee whiz, spirit speaking all over the place. So give me 1 second. I gotta. How ironic! They landed
Wow.
a way that was like.
I just did some cards too, and I got 3 cards that came out, and holy wow, holy wow,
Holy wow!
holy wow. Do you want me to do mine first? Are you ready, or do you want to go first?
Go ahead, because I'm still assessing mine.
So I got color. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Woo! I love that color. I just love those cards. They're so pretty.
Yeah, and it's like heart space. So I feel like when this popped out, I was like, dress yourself in the colors that make you feel authentically you. And then there's more to that card. I just want to touch on all of the stuff I don't. Inward revolution.
Damn. Yeah.
And it's got some, right? It's got like the DNA strand
coming up into that heart chakra, like the crown. I mean, like it literally looks like a crown sitting on top of it. It's such I'm feeling a lot of power and energy coming from the cards. So keep going, please.
Right, but you're moving from that south node and you're awakening into your north node. Right?
Ooh, but you see how it has the divided circle?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, because this is your heart space is like the center of your aura, your auric energy, right? So it is going to tap into that, and then that's going to expand out to all edges of you and your energy. Like, there is going to be I feel like this north node over the next 18 months is going to be so transformative for so many people. I am so excited. I am almost bursting out of my skin. I'm so excited about how this is going to hurt, like how this is going to change. So, and then I got soul song.
Soul song.
Which is still that same energy, right? South node up into north node meeting in the middle.
Yes.
Oh, okay, wait.
So I pointed out the fact that the circle was divided in 4s. Because ironically enough, I had 4 cards jump out. Yeah.
But they all have them, right? Like they all.
Right. I had 4
every
cards.
Single one of them.
Literally, like, so 2 here and 2 here. So I'm taking them as. So this is North Node. All right. And it is, I am grateful and blessed. I look forward to new challenges. Okay. And this is the Scorpio side. I freeze what I no longer want. Magic happens at all times of the year. So we can create everything we want by letting go of the fears, the doubts, the self-limiting beliefs,
the relationships that no longer work for us.
Yes. Yep. And when we step into a place that is very gratitude and blessed, we can look forward to the new challenges that we will face in that space. You know what I'm saying? So that's very welcoming and exciting and new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a good energy to really create the abundant life that we truly want for ourselves. And when we start to do that, we'll start to fill our own cups. We'll have the overflow. You know what I'm saying? And eventually we'll all be swimming in overflow.
Yeah, I love that. I also, when you made the reference to the 4 points, I was like, of course there's 4 points, because the Empress is the embodiment of the 4 queens, the 4 elemental queens, mastery of the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, mastery over all of those to become and step into the energy of the Empress. So I think this is also going to be self-mastery. There has to be something about self-mastery in this next 18 months, which will get us, which will tap us into our own soul song and tap into that inward revolution.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying there's a war going on, but the war going on is really just internal battles for each and every person. You know what I'm saying? That they're reflecting out into the world. So when we really start to assess self, which that's like that Scorpio energy where it's very deep diving, you know what I'm saying, into the inner workings of yourself, and showing compassion to self.
Well, in the soul song here, there's you can't really see it, but there's someone sitting cross-legged in a meditative state, right? And then this one here is about, it's actually going to change like the cells of our cells, or like our bodies. Yeah. Actually going to change the DNA, and it's still going to come up all the way up, and then it's like up here it's overflowing, right? So our own prana energy that's in our DNA cells will spill out onto the rest of the people that are around us, right? I am so excited for this. I can't wait to get into it. I'm like, yes, feels so good. But then again, I love transformation.
It's going to be really intense for people. You know what I'm saying? Because Scorpio is very intense. Like, sometimes I tend to see that I will be rewatching myself back, or I'll be observing myself in the moment where I'm having an out of body, observation of self, where I'm like, this is very intense. And some people, you know what I'm saying, may not be able to receive the intensity, and that really comes back to like not fearing that depth, that intensity, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the more that we're connected to ourselves, the deeper aware we are of ourselves, we are able to connect with people on that depth.
Right. I do also want to say that many times your guides are not going to take you to depths that you're not ready for.
That's
right?
true too.
Like, yes, it's going to be intense, but it's not necessarily going to get to the deepest, darkest parts of you unless you're ready to get there. So, you know, your guides or your counsel are only going to reveal what you're ready to move out of.
Which is really interesting because that goes back to the moon reading that we just had, where, you know, I pulled the Star Family card as well as the Seven Sisters card. You know what I'm saying? So that was really asking the writing card. So really tapping into that that counsel, that your guides, really trusting your own intuition and listening to the voices that are screaming at you, you know.
I mean, or whispering at you if you're that
or
lucky.
Whispering, I mean, because spirit will gently nudge you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like for us specifically, we listen a lot, and like sometimes when they guide us in ways that we're unsure of, we, you know, they're yelling at us.
Mm-hmm. So I just popped out another card from the Divine Feminine deck, and it is Our Lady of the Interior Life, Inward Revolution. I feel like definitely going to, that Scorpio South Node is going to be pulling up some stuff that you may not have been facing, right? So it says, I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So, and then there's a Dove of Peace right here.
Oh, Alma just messaged.
Yeah, our friend just messaged. Were they looking to come and join us in the chat?
They wanted to know if we were still chatting, but I didn't message back because I didn't want to jump out of here.
I responded with a yes, and it automatically sent it. So
okay, cool, perfect.
I don't know. We might be joined with somebody else. We're not sure.
yes, indeed, we may be. But so that was kind of like, for me, what the South Node was really talking about was like that those things that may be coming up for you are really there to be looked at with love, because they're how we're going to thrive when we're letting go of those fears and those doubts and those belief systems and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That really is changing our DNA.
Yeah. I feel like there's a message of like compassion. We need to be compassionate with whatever is coming up, whatever is going to come up.
That was the point. That was the point. Yes. Thank you, Juliana, for finishing my thought for me. Yes. Thank you. Yes. That was.
I mean, that's how we roll. We roll that way. But yeah, there's definitely a practice of being compassionate to ourselves, with ourselves.
Yeah.
And not being too harsh with ourselves, because we don't want you to be out there like stabbing yourself to death with that Scorpio stinger. Like,
and trust me, you don't want to do that.
You don't want that. You do not want that.
You do not want that.
That's not fun.
You know, but that's where it's like accepting that and showing that those things, love and compassion, will, you know, in turn start to heal those things. You know what I'm saying? When we start to shed light on what's in the dark, we start to find that maybe it's not that scary after all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and like I feel like that's a really important part of the shift itself, is really, you know, just because it's in the dark doesn't mean it's that scary. You know what I'm saying? So once we face it with light, then we can see that it may not be that scary at all. And our time
I just got some
maybe hidden there, you know?
Yeah, I just got a vision of like like a little child. So your divine child, or your inner child, as some people would call it, your divine child being in the dark and not having a nightlight and thinking that, you know, that pile of laundry in the corner is a monster, but when you actually shed light on it, it's just a pile of laundry that needs to be washed. I hear myself. That was an actual thing. My guys are like, you have laundry to do, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. No, and that's a very, very great metaphor of the energy that we're going to be entering. You know what I'm saying? Like Scorpio really is about like the death and rebirth, transformation energy. So you know what I'm saying? Once you shed light on that laundry pile, you no longer feared it because then you were aware, you know what I'm saying? And that's going back to North Node where we're becoming aware, more self-aware, and focusing on being self-aware of what is bringing us joy and into our heart space.
Right.
It's interesting because I just thought about
I don't want to use
Taurus's rule. So Venus rules Taurus, right? So very romantic, like home stability energy going on right there. Makes total sense. I love that. I freaking love it. I'm super excited as well. Because I'm a Scorpio. So like I deal with the darkness on a regular basis. So like, you know what I'm saying? I'm really tapping into the depths doesn't scare me. So I'm not afraid of what that is going to bring up for me. I actually embrace what that's going to bring up for me. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that the end result will be my true North Node being exposed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm embracing that new challenge into my life. And I fucking love that. Pardon my French, but we do cursey around here.
Yeah, we enjoy the cursey words around here.
I don't think we gave a disclaimer at the beginning, but just FYI.
Yeah, FYI, we like the cursey words. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it, more so because for me, Taurus, Venus energy, second house energy is about on an internal level, it's about self-worth and self-value. And I'm really excited to get rid of the stuff that, you know, that those old values I held to myself and those old things that, you know, the old thought patterns that I had about who I am, what my worth is. I am excited to get rid of those discounted prices and that I've had for myself and actually come into my true value, my true worth. That's what I'm excited about. And knowing it and feeling it and being, you know, that designer bag or whatever. I'm a designer bag. Am I a designer bag? No, I'm like a designer and I'm out on full price. I'm not on the clearance rack. We're not doing that anymore. And that's what I'm excited about.
So it's really interesting that you said that because like I had an entire other part of my channelings that I just hadn't really like gotten to yet, or that I was going to leave out because I felt like maybe the first ones were a little bit better. But so anyhow, one of the things that I was guided to say was fill your mind with love. Your heart will thank you later. Hey.
We just added an Alma.
Oh, you'll have to unmute yourself, Alma.
Hello.
Hey, Alma.
Let me
Welcome.
hop on video.
Hey there. Hey there.
Hello. You guys are still recording?
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
So welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We're actually talking about the nodes shifting and sorry, I was like in like train of thought of like what Juliana had said right before that prompted me to read these ones. But they were really about letting, like you said, that lack mindset for money, like really the self-valuing of self, you know what I'm saying? Like, but fill your mind with love. Your heart will thank you later, for some reason, was something that like I felt like I needed to share out here. So
yeah, like I feel like that goes back into, you know, your self-value and your self-worth, loving yourself, filling yourself with that love, and showing yourself that love gives you permission to allow that designer, quote unquote, price tag to place on yourself, and stop taking discounted people and discounted like behaviors, right?
and if you look at energy as a monetary value, you know what I'm saying? Where you're spending your time is where
your energy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is like, so that, and what are you filling your mind with? What are you eating? That was very much so like part of that channeling was like about like, and it kind of goes back to my own personal experience where recently I have completely stopped listening to the music that I'm, you know, accustomed to, that I was comfortable with, because I started to look at it as a thing that was keeping me perpetuated in a cycle that I was trying to break out of. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm feeding my brain more positive affirmations and things of that nature that are truly changing my own personal vibration for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of having a negative brain process, I'm really reprogramming it to think positive things about self, you know?
Right. And I just want to touch base that it's not toxic positivity. It's about what you need in your life right now, right? Like, it's not like I'm not allowing any negative things in. It's just about having a positive mindset around some of the negative things that could happen, right? And so, like, we don't watch negative television, like, okay, like the news. We don't watch that. That's full of fear mongering and, you know, all the things that are wrong with the world. There are some good stories in there, but I don't want to defend the media, right? But it's like, I'm not taking in that kind of stuff into my brain, right? Like, it's like a thought diet to keep myself in a higher vibrational place. And yeah, the low vibrational music or lyrics, I find it really difficult to listen to certain types of music that are, you know, trying to tear down other people. I just can't. I just can't anymore, right? I don't know. Hey, Alma, you want to jump in? Do you have anything to say about the North Node in Taurus or Scorpio, or what's up?
I mean, I don't know too much astrology myself, but just like hopping on to the conversation that you guys are talking about. What's been much more effective for me is just like the idea of leaping from negative to positive mindsets. What I really like to do is hop into neutral mindsets.
Ooh, yes.
I like that.
Because that leap sometimes it's hard. And it's disingenuous, kind of, right? Like, I think it's like there's like a really slippery slope from this music in this particular moment doesn't suit what I need in my life, so I won't listen to it, to that kind of music is bad and villainized and demonized and stuff like that, you know, which, like, I don't know.
Well, I'm not
place and time, right?
Like, I'm not demonizing it, but I'm like basically saying that, like, it's currently, for me, it felt like I had so much attachment to the lyrics.
Yeah. Right,
perpetuate
because then it's like,
cycle that I was trying to break out of, and literally, so therefore I had to like, remove that, and actually, like, it actually became very easy, to be honest.
yeah.
It became very easy because I took the chance to make the change, and then I allowed it to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that when Machine Gun Kelly's new album comes out that I won't go right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already paid for it. I have to at least listen to it. But right now, for me, what I find that is working is listening to music that more suits me. You know what I'm saying? It feels more for me, if that makes any sense, as far as like where I'm at with my journey on my
I mean, my impression of Machine Gun Kelly is that they're making music for like 16-year-olds, like the way that like they like romanticize relationships, to me feels like
that way,
I know, yeah.
And so it's actually very disheartening for me as a fan to watch the Hollywood bullcrud, creep into that realm. You know what I'm saying? So, but it happens all the time, unfortunately, and that's just really about resonating on different vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not necessarily the vibration that I want to be vibrating in. So I, am setting myself, into a different frequency by the things that I'm consuming, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah, I feel that. What have I been consuming lately? I just started watching Succession. Have you seen
I
that?
just started watching that too.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's basically a story about a family, a very, very rich and powerful family fighting for power because their dad is getting older and sick. Yeah.
That's so interesting, because that happens all day, every day.
Yeah, it's a story that, yeah.
When it comes to people passing away, it's so sad. This is like a whole nother video right here, because like the separation that we've created with the experience of death is very saddening. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally took death as an experience.
Oh yeah, the industrial death complex, like
Yes.
industry, and
yes, absolutely.
It's another cash grab.
Yeah.
Like, it's expensive to die.
It is. So expensive to die.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, neutrality is the exercise right now.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Between the Scorpio and the Taurus energy, because they're polarities. So finding the middle ground of that would be like the neutrality.
See, this is why I love the three of us, right? Doing readings with three people, because there's the polar, and then there's the neutrality in the middle, and all of them have that.
Yeah.
So I kind of love that.
That's kind of my vibe. Most of the time, I feel like I don't know. My impression of myself is that I tend to be very liminal, the in between.
Right.
I'm still here.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the goal too, is to become neutral in how we experience things, right? Not place good or bad judgments on anything. Like, don't label it good or bad. It's just an experience, and then focus on
The lesson.
What we can learn from it, what we can learn from the situation, how
it makes you much more present.
Ooh.
yeah.
Like you take things for like obviously, because if you're not creating stories while the moment is occurring or the situation is occurring, then you have the space to be present for it, whether it's a good story or a bad story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. All right. Well, I feel
that's
like
hard too, though. Like that. Like I guess that's why I kind of mentioned it being an exercise, because that's.
Well, I think everything's going to be an exercise moving forward because, like, although you weren't here for the beginning of this, but we were talking about the South Node being like our comfort zone, what feels safe and like it's just like where we're most comfortable. That's where we always fall back to, and that's going to be shaken up, and we're going to be moving forward into something bigger and better, and creating better, more abundant comfort zones, right? So I feel like that falls into that as well, right? And it's all an exercise. Getting out of those old patterns and those decaying things holding you back in that Scorpio South Node. It's all going to be an exercise to get out of that into neutrality, into abundance. So
that's so very true. Yeah, no, I do too. One of the things that I had channeled said, so set solid foundations and allow for things to crumble away and become the better you.
So from a neutrality point of view, there's no better or worse you. Like you are your best you at any given point. So like you don't even have to do the work at that point to work to be your best you. You're already there and you behave accordingly.
Oh, I like
that.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, and then it's about like what you choose to do from that space, how you choose to respond.
Yeah.
Whether it's a reaction or a response.
I had a conversation with my guild a while ago of like, so like a lot of the work we do surrounds sigils, right? And before you create a sigil, you like make a statement of intent. And we were kind of reviewing the sigils that we did for the year and what we would like to do and improve moving forward. What were the effects and stuff? And something that someone new in our guild noticed, which I love that, was that a lot of our statements were future tense. So like we will do this, or we will have this, or we will whatever this. And her opinion was that it would be best if we, and I do this with myself all the time, but I had completely forgotten, but just writing your statement of intent as present, so that it's easier to so instead of we will this, like we do this or whatever.
I am this.
Yes, exactly.
The power of the statement I am is very powerful. And that really goes back to like knowing thyself. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you already are that.
Yeah.
And like you said, acting accordingly. Like, so I already am that. Now I act as accordingly. You know, and there's power in that. I freaking love that. I'm like, I want to write it down.
What's stopping you from writing it down? Write it down, right? Like that's part of the keys to manifesting anything is
writing it down.
Well, writing it down, but also thinking about it in present tense, right? So it's like writing some future event as though it's already happened. Yep. Because it is already happened, because time is not real.
Yes, exactly.
It's not linear. Like it's already happening in the future. You're already that person.
All we are is everything that we already are. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Whew, whew, okay.
I mean, like how much more accessible is it after that, like mind change too? Because it's like this thing I have to reach for and obtain, and I have to work for, and I have to, you know what I mean? As opposed to just like, I already am, like I am. There you go. Okay, cool.
I think that taps into imposter syndrome too, right? Like,
yeah.
it sort of alleviates the imposter syndrome because you already are the things that you supposedly want to be, right? There's no want, you already are. So
Yeah.
I find that really fascinating. All right.
Yeah.
So do we want to wrap this up or do we want to continue talking like this?
I mean, I'm down to keep talking. I just woke up. I
Say,
feel
no,
a little bit better, but
keep talking, but I feel like this is like 2 separate episodes. So
yeah, that's why I was like, I feel like we're venturing into something else. There's lots of gold in it, but
and then we can like start anew, and then we've created 3.
I love it.
Because I was getting the messages of the power of 3, like utilizing the power of 3. So, and now there's 3 of us.
Is that a callback? Is that a callback to earlier?
Do what?
Oh, is that a
no,
okay?
So the power of 3 message was something I channeled a few days ago.
Oh.
You know, that I shared it on my website. I have a blog there, and so I've just been, channel dumping, if you will, in my blog on my website. So that's been really interesting. But one of the messages that I channeled the other day was about the power of 3. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, let's wrap it up and then we'll just end this one and then we can start recording another. And if we choose to use that, then we can. So, well, thanks for watching and thanks for being a part of this channeled message tarot read. And my name is Juliana Theine. Again, you can reach me on Instagram at Juliana_Theine. Mystical, would you like to close out for you?
Yeah, sure. You guys can get me at Mystical Being 19XX on Instagram or Mystical Magic on Facebook, as well as there's a link to my website there, and my inbox is always welcome for booking sessions. So thank you for coming.
Amazing. Alma, do you want to just tell people what you do? Are you still doing tarot reads or anything like that?
Yeah, I do tarot. I am an artist. You can call me Space. I know it says Alma in the corner there, but people call me Space because that's who I am. I have an Instagram at Space Cutter.
Amazing. All right, cool. So thanks for coming. We appreciate you hanging on for this long. It's been an extra long video. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.